Hello everybody, hope you guys are enjoying your day. Today we're going to be looking at your southwest heat wave, which is going to be impacting parts of southern California, southern Nevada, and southern parts of Arizona with some 100 plus degree temperatures. Some temperatures are even going to near 110 degrees. This is going to be about 10 to 25 degrees above your average, and as a lot of you guys know, the southwest is notoriously known for their very warm weather. So when you get 15 to 25 degrees above your average temperature, which is already very warm, you're really gonna have some serious heat problems, and it's very warm. We already have some excessive heat warnings in effect for parts of the southwest over southern Nevada, southern California, and southern Arizona. We have some of those excessive heat warnings in place there. And that's again because again we have temperatures ranging between 90 to about 110, probably right around 108 to 109 degrees is going to be your highest temperature. And this is going to be a heat wave that is going to be going on for the next couple of days, and it was already going on for the last couple of days. So this is going to be about a 5 day long heat wave or so, and you're really not going to get too much relief in the form of precipitation. Over the next about 10 days, you're looking at zero precipitation, and we're going to be breaking down why that's happening later on in today's video, at right around the end of the video. Now, we also have red flag warnings in place for parts of New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas into Nebraska, and then also a little bit there of Montana. We also have some wind advisories and high wind warnings there for the Dakotas, and then also we have a couple there in a little bit of Wyoming. Now, we also have some air quality alerts for parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin, but except for that, not a lot else is going on throughout the rest of the country. We have some severe weather for parts of the central United States for today. I did make a video on that yesterday, so you can go check that out in yesterday's video. It's on my YouTube channel. So here is what the European model is putting out in terms of your high temperatures. So anywhere in those yellows, that's between 60 and about 70 degrees. In the oranges, about 70 to 80 degrees, and in the darkest oranges, and then also into kind of those dark reds, that's where you're looking between 80 and 90 degrees, and then into kind of those grays, that's where you're looking at between 90 to about 100. And once you start to get almost into those purple colors, those very light purple colors that you see kind of in southernmost California, that's where you're getting to about 105 to 115 degrees in those regions. So it's going to be very warm. And then you also have your temperatures with those little labels on the screen, so you can kind of tell for some areas what the temperatures are. So here is for today. Here's your high temperature for today, Tuesday, April 28th. And we're seeing over to the same area that was in that excessive heat warning, you're seeing a lot of these temperatures being in the hundreds, pretty much widespread over southern Arizona, southern California, and then as you get up into Nevada and a little bit further north in California and Arizona, you're seeing temperatures right around the middle 90s, which is still, again, well above your average for this time of year. Now, let's look at tomorrow, which would be Wednesday, the 29th of April, and this is probably going to be your warmest day. This is when you're going to see temperatures topping out at above 105 degrees in a lot of these areas, and widespread, you're going to be between 105 to 110 degrees there over Southern California, even through Eastern California, Southern Nevada, and into Southwestern Arizona there, seeing temperatures. This would be for Wednesday or tomorrow, the 29th of April. Now, let's go to Thursday, the 30th of April, and we're seeing we have temperatures still topping out at around 105 degrees, just lower than 105 degrees according to this European model. But still, the same general areas are still getting impacted with some very warm temperatures, and you've been seeing this for the past couple of days, and so it's not really going to help that you're going to see zero precipitation over these areas over the next 10 days, and you're also not going to get really any relief even at nighttime, which we'll look at in just a minute. Now, here's your this is the first day of May, which will be Friday, May 1st, and we're seeing a little bit cooler. It was still right around 105 degrees, between 100 and 105 degrees. And then as we continue to the 2nd of May, it starts to cool down into the upper 90s, but still that's not too much of a relief from those 105 degree temperatures that you were seeing just a couple of days ago. And then it starts to really die down. Still, you see throughout the entire model run, you're still seeing occasionally some days where you get above 100 degrees in some of these areas. So I also want to look at your low temperatures here, and I just want to show you this because you're really not getting too much relief even at the nighttime hours. Your low temperatures, these are your low temperatures for every day. I just showed you all your high temperatures, and now we're going to go through your low temperatures for about the next 4 or 5 days. Now, this would be for today, and this would be for tonight going into tomorrow morning, and we're saying we have temperatures bottoming out at around 70 to about 75 degrees. So that's not too much of a relief. Even at nighttime when it's supposed to get cooler, you see around the surrounding areas, you're getting maybe into the 50s and 40s. But over this main area, which is going to be seeing those warm, very warm temperatures, you're seeing temperatures still bottoming out at around 75 degrees, which is still very, very warm. And it's not going to really help with any relief from this very warm weather. Now, here is your low temperatures for Wednesday, which is again probably going to be the warmest day, and you have some areas bottoming out at around 80 degrees. So it's going to be still very, very warm. This would be Wednesday, the 29th of April. Now let's go through Thursday, the 30th of April. Still, it's going to be very, very warm, and you have temperatures still right around 70 to 75 degrees for your low temperatures. And then as we go through Friday, the 1st of May, it's still around 75 degrees. And then the 2nd of May starts to cool down a little bit, bottoming out at around between 65 and about 70. And then you see it cools down a little bit, and then potentially a lot of the models have been showing another heat wave of sorts coming through southern Arizona, southern Nevada, southern California, the same area that was impacted by this heat wave, come next week, where you're going to have probably temperatures again reaching into the hundreds potentially. So we'll have to talk about that once we get closer to that event. Now, let's look at why this is happening. Now, we're going to have this really intense high pressure that's going to be forming just off the coast of California here, and this is going to be pushing your warm air northward, and that's why you're going to be seeing those 100-degree temperatures. Now, you kind of see this is going through a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, and this is showing you what's happening there. And you see we have this ridging that's coming up through the western United States, and that's allowing for some warm air to really be present throughout those areas, and that's why you're going to see those very warm temperatures. And when you get into those pinks and those kind of maroon colors, that's when you're getting into those that's when you're getting into those really warm temperatures and that very dry air with that high pressure, which is going to lead to some bright sunny skies, but that's also going to lead to some very, very warm temperatures. And again, that's going to push some of that warm air further and further to the north, and you see that actually is going to stay in place. It's going to move a little bit further to the east, then it's going to start moving to the west again, but you see it's really not going away for at least the next 10 days here. It's really just going to stay in place over parts of the southwestern United States. Now, also, here's your 10-day rainfall accumulation, and this is precipitation of any sort, snowfall, rainfall, and you're seeing absolutely zero precipitation, maybe a little bit, maybe a tenth of an inch, or a hundredth of an inch, 200ths of an inch, maybe 500ths of an inch in some of those higher elevations, but really, it's going to be a very, very dry 10 days. You're not seeing any sorts of precipitation. You're going to have to go north and east to see some precipitation. You see, we do get a little bit through northern California, northern Nevada, through central and northern Utah, and central and northern Colorado. And as you get eastward, you're also going to see a little bit more precipitation. But it is going to be a very dry, warm, muggy kind of next 10 days or so. You're going to get a little bit of relief as we get into the later part of this week and getting through the early part of next week, right before you get into another heat wave, which we'll probably talk about on this channel in just probably just a couple of days once we're nearing and getting closer to that event. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.